So can you tell me a little bit about your background and what your family growing up was like?
Sure. So I grew up, or I was born in Gomel, Belarus, and then I immigrated here very young. I immigrated here at age 3 as a Jewish Russian refugee. So we moved to Brooklyn, lived in Brooklyn for a decade or so, and then at 13 I moved to Pennsylvania, the suburbs of Pennsylvania, and
Being the child of immigrants, what was that like? Like, did they have specific ideas about money other than maybe your friends that you grew up around?
for sure, growing up, we never went out to eat or anything. My mom wasn't, going out to get her nails done or get her hair done, nothing like that. All my clothes were hand-me-downs from family friends. We didn't really go out shopping just for fun or buy new clothes very often, buy new shoes very often. I didn't really ask for much because I knew I probably wasn't going to get it.
Has that influenced you today? Like, are you yourself a saver, or how do you feel about that today?
100%. I am more frugal than my mother.
Okay.
Because I'm more like my grandmother than I am my mother. My mom's frugal, but she's also become very Americanized compared to when we first moved here and when she was raising me. We've both now lived in America for 2 decades now. So she's definitely changing and she's also like moving up in her
economically
her career.
and career-wise,
so she's a little bit more comfortable now. I'm still getting my shit together. I live in New York, so it's more important to me to be frugal. But I think I'm better at like retirement savings, investing. She can't do any of that.
Oh wow, you have your retirement savings started and everything? May I ask how old you are?
I'm 24.
So that's really good. I mean, that's pretty unusual, I think, right? Tell me, what are some of the jobs that you've had here in New York since you've moved here?
So when I first moved here, I moved here to transfer to another college. I took a year off from college, and then I transferred to another one. So I worked in retail for 2 years, roughly 2 years. Then I said to myself, you know what, my rent is dirt cheap because I live in a room with no door. I have a curtain for a door, so my rent is dirt cheap.
Do you have roommates then, or
Yeah.
how many roommates?
5.
And what part of the city do you live in?
Right in between Sunset Park and Bay Ridge in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's not not really very gentrified at all, and it's not like a super hip neighborhood, so not too many people are moving there.
Ask how much you pay in rent.
Yeah, no problem. I paid $360.
Wow, for New York,
Exactly.
that is crazy cheap. Yeah.
That's why I can't give it up. Like, I want to get my own place so bad. Like, I would love to live alone, love to have that privacy. But when I think, like, is that privacy and like increase in happiness equal to like the huge increase in rent?
And you don't mind living in a neighborhood that's not trendy or anything
It's
much?
not trendy, but it's not dangerous.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's nice, it's quiet. Like, I don't know if you've been to Bay Ridge, but there's like parks.
I haven't, so maybe I should go, yeah.
Yeah.
So when you were working at H&M, did you have any crazy customers? Like, do you have any crazy H&M customer stories, or were people pretty good, or not really?
Working at H&M was so bad for my mental health.
Oh, wow.
Customers are awful. The people are miserable working there, so they're awful too. Like, everyone's just miserable in that store. That was 2 years. I couldn't do it, so I said to myself, you know what? My rent is pretty cheap. I'm gonna do some internships because I think that will be super valuable for me. I can either they can either hire me on as an employee, or it's just a great experience, right? Gets your foot in the door. A lot of people want to see that you have internships. So I did a bunch of internships for some startups, for some artists.
Did you gain a lot of experience from those internships, or do you think, like, sometimes I think internships are companies kind of taking advantage of free labor.
Yeah.
How did you feel about it?
Personally, I felt like it was worth it for me.
Okay.
For the potential benefits.
Uh-huh.
Like if I wanted to at a couple of them, I had the opportunity to stay on as an employee, but I didn't want to. There was this one startup, I didn't believe in it. They wanted me to stay after the summer. It's like, I don't think this company is going to last, and they didn't. They failed a year later. So, but I think.
So what type of work were you doing, or were you learning about?
Marketing.
Marketing?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And so did that lead to anything, or what were you able to do next?
It instilled a confidence in me
Okay,
that I could do a great job. Like I was getting recommendations. Like on LinkedIn, I have a bunch of recommendations now, which is valuable when you apply to any job.
Mm-hmm.
It showed me that I can do this work and I'm valuable, and it gave me the confidence to apply to other jobs. Skills learned, it taught me how to work with different people. But mostly I think internships are really important so you can find out what you don't like doing.
Yeah, that's half the battle.
Yeah, I think it's important to be well versed and try out a bunch of different things. Otherwise, you're not going to really find out what you excel at.
So you were telling me that you had like a weird work story.
From the interview, I was like, I really don't think I want to work here. I don't like this boss. He sounds kind of crazy. The coworkers don't seem super friendly, and the pay isn't amazing. But I thought, well, no one else gave me an interview. When's the next time I'm going to get an interview? So I started working there and thinking, okay, I'm going to get some experience. After 3 months, I'll leave. After 6 months, I'll leave. But then I got a raise. I asked for another raise. I got a raise. So I kept staying, and I kept postponing it. I was thinking, oh, I'll get my own apartment, and then I'll switch jobs. I had been putting so much thought into this. I had been going on online forums, asking people what the best way to quit is, what the best time to quit is.
Uh-huh.
Should I do it before my vacation? Should I do it after? I had looked up resignation letter drafts and kind of put together my own thoughtful draft with like the right wording. Like I had the resignation letter. Okay, everyone's super incompetent here. I'm not feeling inspired. Like, why am I working here? I'm so young. I'm so early in my career. I need to learn from people that inspire me and people who I think are doing a good job. Why am I felt like I wasn't the bottleneck at this company, even though I was the youngest person there. Then the CEO and the president come in. Svetlana, we need to talk. They fired me on the day that I was going to put in my 2 weeks. They fired me first. Okay, but what they did is they said, you can go home today and we'll pay you 2 weeks severance.
Oh.
So it's the same thing as me putting in my 2 weeks, except now I didn't have to work the extra 2 weeks.
It worked out better for you.
It worked out, yeah, exactly. It worked out better.
So tell me what you're doing now for work.
Now?
Yeah.
So I do TaskRabbit.
Oh, uh-huh.
Super easy. Postmates, with both of these things, I can do it whenever I want to.
Uh-huh.
And now that it's summer in New York City, I can enjoy the summer, go to whatever events I want to go to, and also make money whenever I want to make it.
So you're kind of like an independent freelancer, and you're saying that kind of suits you better, it sounds like.
Yeah, for sure. At least for a temporary amount of time. Like, so many people are worried about quitting their job because they don't know how they're going to make money. Well, right now I'm making enough money, and then when the right job comes along, I'm going to pursue that job, but I'm just not going to settle anymore.
Are you busy every day with a different assignment?
If I want to be, but I can also take a day off whenever I want to.
Like, about how much would you say you make in a week?
Depends on how much I work.
Yeah.
But if I work every day, maybe like 700, 800 a week, which is like, I'm also not working full 8-hour shifts every day.
Yeah, and you have that retirement account, which is amazing.
Yeah.